Hey, what's good, everybody? It's your boy Nick Ruiz back here with another video. Hope you guys are having a good day. I got another NBA 2K20 video for y'all. This video is gonna be a little bit different from the videos I've been doing. Usually, I just report on the news that we've been getting in NBA 2K21 for the next game, or I just talk about concepts and things that I would add to make the game better in NBA 2K21. But in this video, I got the top 5 point guard builds, in my opinion, in NBA 2K20. And I'm going to be doing this for every position the next couple videos. So we're going to start off with the one spot, the point guard. The position that runs the offense, the position that makes the plays usually, the position that can shoot the ball. And before we start, I just want to go over the My Player Builder and my take on it. Some of you may know I'm not the biggest fan of it. I've actually advocated for 2K getting completely rid of it. But I also kind of like just the idea and the fact that the variety in this year's game has been the most. You can make up to like 50 or 60 builds maybe. It might even be more than that. But just the variety in 2K20 for the builds, it's pretty amazing. Whether 2K keeps in the game or not in 2K21 or they make something completely different, I don't know. But either way, let's get into this list, okay? So, top 5 best point guard builds in NBA 2K20. So, starting off with number 5, I got a tie at number 5. I know I couldn't really decide which build should make the list and which build should barely make the list because both these builds have pros and cons. But yeah, I have a tie between the playmaking shot creator and the pure shot creator, the Ticino build, okay? It's a tie for me. I didn't want to get so much hate and leave one of these builds off the list. I had to go with the shot creator because Ticino, specifically the way Ticino uses it, okay? Not really how any other build player that has it. And it's kind of rare. I mean, a lot of people might have it, but it's one of the more rare guard builds, and Ticino's made it popular. So I had to put it at number 5, and this is the best build to go off the dribble with, even though there's no off dribble shooting category in 2K20. Maybe they'll add that back in 2K21. But and it can speed boost pretty good, but I also had to add the playmaking shot creator number 5 because the playmaking is really, really good, even though some can argue that pass accuracy and pass rating doesn't matter because I've seen inside glass locks and inside paint beast make immaculate passes regardless of rating, so pass accuracy doesn't really matter too much. But the playmaking shot creator has a lot of playmaking in its arsenal. Um, but the reason, I didn't want to leave it off the list. And also, this build has had it rough this year. It got penalized a lot because earlier this year, if you've been sleeping under a rock, 2K patched the behind the back. They didn't take it out the game, but like they slowed down the animation and it kind of broke the move. So now play shots had to innovate, and I have to give respect to them, and I have to have them at number 5. And I can't put it over the shot creator because I love Ticino in this build, but I also can't leave it off the list because people at that build, they had to come up with new ways to create their shots, so I have to show respect to them. And yeah, man, so number 5 is a tie between the playmaking shot creator and the pure shot creator. At number 4, I have the slashing playmaker, but it's the pure playmaker pie chart, the pure yellow. This build is actually one of, if not the most underrated builds in the entire game, especially for point guards. When people bring up good point guard builds, this rarely comes up whenever I hear someone talk. The pure playmaker pie chart slashing playmaker is one of the best builds in this game, and I've made one just for experimental purposes. I don't plan on using it or making one in 2K21, but the badge count and the attributes on this build are really good, man. Like, you get double-digit badge points in every category, which, that's better than a lot of the builds, okay? Not too many builds get double-digit badges in every category, so that's one way that this build is really good. And this build is just, again, it's underrated because not a lot of people use this to begin with, but it's really, really good and it's really effective. And just to show how balanced it is, let me tell you how I made mine, okay? I made mine have 11 finishing, 12 shooting, 27 playmaking, and 11 defense. If that's not an all-around build, then I don't know what is, man. So, yeah, man, at number 4 I have the slashing playmaker, pure playmaker, yellow pie chart. Oh, and another thing is, this build is definitely the best ball handler build in the game, gets the most ball control. And I know, people, it's been well known that ball control is not the most important attribute in this game. Of course, it helps to have high ball control, but it's not like a necessity. But if you wanted the best build and the most highest attributes to speed boost, this would definitely be the best build to make, because at 95 overall, or whenever you upgrade it, gets the 95 ball control, and then at 99 overall, you get 99 ball control, and then, it won't be that hard to dribble with the ball at that point, because it's just the truth, man. This build is the best playmaking build in the whole entire game, okay? So if you want to make the best ball handling possible type build, this is the build to make. Next up, at number 3, I have the offensive threat, slashing and shooting pie chart, aka the BP build. Shout out to BP's in the 2K League. He is famous for creating this build. I remember this build wasn't really being created the first couple months, but then BP made it and made this build famous, and there's a reason that this build is famous and popular, okay? So, just to start out, gets Hall of Fame shooting badges, so, automatically it's lights out from 3. Gets around to 83-pointer when you max it out before 95, and which another point I'm going to make in a minute is what happens when you get to 99.9 on this build. And then it gets Hall of Fame finishing badges, which is very impressive for offensive threat guard build. Not only kicker, you shorten the wingspan and grind this build, you can speed boost, okay? And that's the reason really why this build isn't higher on the list, is because this build, unlike a lot of the other playmaker and point guard builds, this build, I just got to tell it like it is. It has to be grinded in my career, and you should get this build to 99 to really test its effectiveness. But once you get there, bro, oh my god. Can speed boost, can get every contact dunk in the game eventually, can shoot the ball. Like, bro, this build is definitely the best offensive build in the whole game. There's not a damn thing this build can't do on offense. This build is unstoppable on offense. The only, and another reason why it's not even higher on this list is because, 6'2", 6'3", it's really short as a guard build, but, it's 2K20. Short builds are kind of the norm, so it doesn't really matter. Number 2, and this is where you might find me to be a little biased when I talk about this next build. This build, I actually could have put it first, but I was nice enough to put it second. The two-way finisher, pure lockdown, pure red pie chart, 6'5". Where do I start with this build, man? First off, it can get every contact dunk in the game. You don't even have to grind it that much. Gets a 90-something driving dunk. The playmaking on this build, you max out the wingspan at 6'5". You get a 72 ball control, which is really, really good for a pure lock. And then on top of that, 30 defensive badges. You can get all the Hall of Fame defensive badges you want. And on top of that, what's also pretty impressive is 95 speed. And one of the main reasons why this build is really high on my list is that this build can play any position you want it to play. Because at 95, it gets 75 interior defense, and then don't even get me started on grinding this build to 99, bro. Grinding this build to 99, you will not be disappointed. But again, it's good even before 99. It's good at 92. This build can guard any build in the game and can finish. What's there to say, man? It's the best pure lock build in the game, and again, can play any position you want it to play. And then on top of that, you can finish elite in the paint. So, oh, and also, this is by far the best build to hit legend with. I know you guys have noticed maybe, or maybe it's just me, but whenever you see a legend in the park, it's most likely this build because of the versatility it gets, and then you get 10 plus defensive badges and you can shoot with it. So that's why this two-way finisher is it's number 2 on my list. And finally, number 1, I got the two-way slashing playmaker. This was kind of obvious. This build is the two-way finisher on steroids, because the two-way finisher, some people find a way to shoot with it, but the two-way slashing playmaker gets 10 shooting badges. You can shoot consistent with that, like it's not even a question. And then on top of that, this build can actually speed boost. The pure lock that I have can't speed boost, so that's why I think the two-way slashing playmaker is the best build in the game. And on top of that, name anything that this build can't do. You might make an argument that this build can't play interior defense, but it really doesn't matter, man. You have Hall of Fame Intimidator, Hall of Fame Clamps, maybe Silver Chase Down, Silver Rim Protector. You'll be fine playing defense on this build. And plus, this build can clamp up guards too. This build is basically a two-way finisher, except for getting speed boost and shoot the ball. So yeah, man. I really wanted to put the two-way finisher build at number 1, but I felt I couldn't, because the two-way slashing playmaker, it can just do everything. But I have grinded my two-way finisher, y'all. I got him to 96. I straight grinded. And the build's really impressive. I'm going to start streaming with it. He's finally at 95, 96 overall. And like I said earlier in the vid, it's a really good build, and it can guard any position. But I didn't want to put it higher on the list because it would have been really biased at that point. But I'm just saying, and I might even, like, if 2K21 has the same type of player build system, I'm debating having the two-way finisher 6'5" pure lock be my main point guard build, at least on current gen. But yeah, guys, that was my list for today, my top 5 point guard builds list. The next few videos will be the same for every other position. But let me know what's your top 5 list. Let me know. Please like, comment, and sub if you're new. I love you all. It's been your boy Nick Ruiz. I'm out for now. Peace.